Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. So son of Tszyu, Tszyu, moves to 15-0 by defeating Jack Brubaker by a 4th round stoppage. Obviously at this point we've made a few videos about Tszyu, kind of monitoring his development and seeing how he gets along as he steps through the ranks. And, his performance against Jack Brubaker was pretty dominant, it's got to be said. A really one-sided fight, and he fought with a lot of spite and menace against Brubaker. I think this is as good as I've ever seen Tszyu, so credit to Tszyu for putting on a good performance and showing improvements. This is a man who certainly improved since his pro debut. I've seen most of his career, and when he turned pro, I'll be honest, really wasn't sure about him. Just seemed like a guy who was cashing in on his dad's name, but to his credit, he's certainly shown a lot of development as a fighter. And yeah, this Brubaker performance, in my opinion, was the best performance of his career to date. First round kind of started as a feeling out process. Both guys were assessing what was in front of them, but Tszyu looked like the guy who would take the initiative first, and that's what he did. Midway through the first round, Tszyu started to find his range, getting behind that jab, and he was landing some nice combinations. He clearly won round 1, and he won every round of his fight while it lasted. Round 2 and round 3 was more of the same. Tszyu getting behind that jab, measuring Jack Brubaker up for that chopping right hand, which he was landing all night long. He was landing good combinations throughout, and he was piecing Jack Brubaker up, landing big shots. And yeah, Jack Brubaker never really could gain Tszyu's respect. He showed some good defiance, he tried to throw shots back, but Tszyu just wasn't moving, He really wasn't respecting what Jack Brubaker was doing. And basically, Tszyu just kind of walked through Jack Brubaker. Tszyu was never in trouble in this fight. It never looked like Brubaker would get a foothold. And yeah, Tszyu just kept his foot on his neck, and he took him out in round 4. He landed a barrage of punches in round 4, kind of just swarmed Jack Brubaker against the ropes, landing a series of shots, clean shots to the head, and Jack Brubaker's trainer, Jeff Fenech, stepped in and threw in the towel. I can't really argue with that decision because, Brubaker, like I said, he was sustaining a fair bit of punishment and wasn't really having his own success. They could have allowed it to continue, but I think Brubaker was on a hiding to nothing, to be honest. And yeah, maybe it's better they pulled their man out to live to fight another day. So probably the right decision from Jeff Fenech and Brubaker's team. But good performance from Tszyu. Like I've said, showed real improvement from his pro debut. He seems to be punching harder. He seems to be, gaining a better understanding of distance, how to set up his right hand. His jab's getting better. He's throwing some nice combinations. He's offensive. He's fun to watch. He's certainly an interesting prospect. I'm still not really sure how far Tszyu goes, but he can certainly fight for a world title, providing he gets the right step-up fights. And 2019, in my opinion, has been a pretty good year for Tszyu. The right fights at the right time. 4 fights this year. Started the year by fighting Denton Vassell, who is a former domestic level fighter in the UK. And after that, he's kind of fought Commonwealth level guys like Dwight Ritchie. By the way, rest in peace to Dwight Ritchie. He actually recently passed away due to a sparring incident, so rest in peace to Dwight. But, he fought guys like Ritchie, Calamari, Brubaker, Vassell, Commonwealth level guys who he should be fighting, and he's beat these guys decisively. So now, in 2020, I would like to see a slight step up. Nothing too crazy, just a guy who's slightly above the level he's fighting now. Just a good step up. And if he gets these step up fights, he can get better. I believe he's only, 24, 25 years old. Still got a lot of time on his side. Got a big profile. He can go a fair distance. There's no doubt about it. And like I've said, I was impressed with his performance against Jack Brubaker. I felt he looked quite good actually. So credit to Tszyu for getting the win and getting the stoppage. Now he moves to 15-0 with 11 knockouts. I believe he's highly ranked in the WBO, I want to say. So he's making waves, and we'll see where he goes next. People are talking about a fight with Michael Zarafa next year. That would be a massive step up. It really would, and a risky fight, but if that fight happens, I'd love to see it, you know. That would be a hell of a test for Tszyu. You know, I think Michael Zarafa is actually rematching Jeff Horn, so maybe if Horn wins that fight, that's another fight for Tszyu. So there's a big fight in Australia for Tszyu next year. We'll see how he develops, but yeah, I like the look of this kid. Again, not saying he's going to be a world champion, don't get it twisted, but certainly a guy who is worth following, in my opinion. But share your thoughts below. What did you make of Tszyu's performance? If you've not seen him before, I would certainly check him out. You know, he seems to take the sport very seriously. You know, he trains hard, he comes in shape, he's aggressive. There's a lot to like, so share your thoughts below. Peace.